Well, hello. My name's Adrian Gilbert, and I'd like to welcome you to my new Patreon page. You probably know who I am already if you've come here from YouTube or Facebook, but just in case you come through some other means, I'm mostly known as an author of esoteric books, co-authored books like The Orion Mystery with Robert Bauval, The Mayan Prophecies, which was a big bestseller actually in America, particularly that one. Signs in the Sky, which was an investigation into the end of the age prophecies contained in the Matthew Gospel. I took a party of people to Egypt and Israel based on that book, and there's a video of that actually on my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm mostly known for. But I've also made videos, and I've made programs with the BBC and with other broadcasters on all sorts of different subjects. And I've had many interviews, and I've lectured all over the world, America, Canada, South Africa, on cruise ships, in Italy, obviously Britain. I've lectured with different organizations. People like the ARE, that's the Casey people in America, RILCO, the Research into Lost Knowledge Organization in Britain, the Theosophical Association I've spoken to before, the Rosicrucians. I've been at this for a long time, and I've done a lot of different things. So now I'm launching this Patreon page. So I'm just going to read through some little blurb I've written here so that I don't miss things. So I'm initially launching Patreon with only one level of access. Now, in case you don't know, Patreon is a means for you to help people like me who are trying to produce content, creative people who, we're no longer supported that well by things like publishing books. And for us to carry on our work, we need to turn to our patrons to help us to support that work. Otherwise, we can't carry on doing it. And I'm in that boat as well. So I'm initially launching Patreon with only one level of access. I think that's fair. Let's call this the bronze, right? And I ask patrons to pledge $5 a month, which works out at less than £1 a week. So that's not a lot, is it, really? It's what, $1.25 a week if you're American. As I say, it's about £1, a bit less than that a week. And in return for that, you get exclusive access to videos that will not be available on YouTube or anywhere else. Making videos obviously takes time and involves investment in equipment. I'm therefore very grateful to patrons who are willing to help me with this work financially, and I do mean that. I am very grateful to you. I do realize and I understand that to undertake any sort of commitment like this probably means a lot to you as it does to me. And it does involve a commitment, and I appreciate that, and I'm very thankful for it. But I hope you agree with me that this work is worth it. So, what do you get in return? Well, I said, later on, as the Invisible College develops, I intend to add other levels, silver and gold with additional benefits. That's over and top of doing these videos. As this is a new venture, we don't know how this will develop, but it will likely involve live chats and access to even more exclusive material before general release. And I have got a few ideas on this, but I don't want to commit myself yet. But I do want this college to develop into something of a kind of online community for those of us who share a passion for these ideas and this knowledge. And as I say, I've been involved in this for 50 years. And I met, a lot of people who are no longer even alive, a long time ago. People like J.G. Bennett, who was a student of Gurdjieff and Uspensky. I knew him. You can read his books, but I can tell you a bit more about him and what he was like. So I've just dotted down a list of areas, and this is just off the top of my head. There will be other ones too. So here are just some of the areas of interest that I intend the college to cover. Number one, cosmology. Need to contrast standard cosmology with the new cosmology of the electric universe. Well, if you don't know, I organised the first ever British Electric Universe Conference here in Britain, which was held in Bath in 2018. A look at classical cosmology, which is what was so, people believed in before Copernicus. Religious cosmology, ideas that have sort of spheres of the planets and spheres of the angels. And then Gurdjieff's cosmology, and I'm going to talk a lot about Gurdjieff because he's a very interesting man, and he had a lot of, well, I won't call them prophetic ideas, but he was so far ahead of his time when he was teaching in the 1920s. I don't think people at that time had really a clue as to just how deep what he was teaching them was and where it had come from. I've unravelled a lot to do with where it came from, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. The connected universe. Anthropology. And I'm going to give you a critical look at Darwin's theory of evolution, which I don't believe in, not at all. And you'll understand why when I've done that lecture. Biblical anthropogenesis. Classical Greek and Roman anthropogenesis. Ancient Egypt theories of anthropogenesis. Mayan theories of anthropogenesis. Anthropogenesis, in case you don't speak Greek, means the birth of man or birth of mankind. So it's how we came about, how we are here. Ancient history. Investigate the areas of history that mainstream ignores. Who really built the pyramids and why? Where did the Mayan civilization come from? And what does it have to teach us? What is the history of Britain? Was there a King Arthur? The lost tribes of Israel, who were they and where are they now? Secrets of the Magi, the forgotten wise men of Persia, and much, much more. And then I've got another section here, Secrets of the Bible. I'm not going to go through all these in detail because I want to keep this short. Secret teachings of the Holy Grail, angels and angelology, self-development. So obviously making videos in these areas will take time, but there will be at least one new video, an hour or more long each month. However, time and energy permitting, I shall endeavour to make more than one. And I hope you'll agree with me, this is quality material that you don't want to miss. So thank you again. Please, do click on the buttons, whatever is required to sign on with the Patreon, to become a patron. As I say, it would be a basic price of $5 a month that you have to pledge. And I think I know they have a system for billing at the beginning of each month. But if you want to give more, that's very welcome too. So thank you very much for your time.